Alright everybody, welcome to this video discussing DSP's money. Oh yeah, money, yeah. You know, trolls like to talk about DSP's money, DSP's income, his revenue, his liquidity. And today I'm here and I have a couple of points written down as to why people care so much about DSP's money and what he makes and where that money goes. And also where that money comes from. So this is my perspective on things, based on how I've seen it and based on what I think about his money. And if you think something else, just leave a comment below. Alright, let's get into it. Now, the first reason why I think people care about DSP's money so much is because he contradicts himself all the time. He wants to be both a successful, mature, adult streamer with a family who can go out on his day off and eat at restaurants and order food and spend money on alcohol and mobile games and all that stuff. And in the same time, he is this man who is barely getting by, who has to live in tips to tips every single day, and there's nothing else that he could do about his own situation. And this by itself starts raising some questions that some people like to ask. Now, the second reason ties into the first reason, is that he doesn't want you to ask any fucking questions whatsoever. So if he has to beg, and he has to humiliate himself and to guilt trip you, and to manipulate you into giving him money, that's okay. But the moment that you bring up the money that he's got, the money that he spends, and the things that he admits to do, you're getting banned.
No exaggeration. So for a whole week, I was telling everyone, just so you guys know, just to prepare you, I know that large amount of gifted memberships is going to fall. It's coming. It's about 100 gifted memberships I got the moment that we had gifted memberships last month. I know that those are going to expire. Expect this number to go down. It doesn't mean it's a horrible thing. It's going to happen. It used to happen on Twitch. It's going to happen here. Everything's fine. What happened all day yesterday? There was like 10 people. Oh, are you going to update your members goal? Are you going to update the members total? Can you update it to see how many you dropped? Can you update that so we see if it's accurate? Can you update it? Can you update it? They're nuts. There are these people who are just so obsessed with negativity and just obsession around my streams and support of my streams. Something I don't obsess about. They obsess about it more than me, and I'm the one running the streams in the business. They're nuts. When you see someone like that, you point to them and you say, hey, you're nuts. I'm ignoring you now. Block them. Seriously. Pay no heed to people like this. They don't add anything positive. They're messed up.
And you shouldn't be talking about this anyways, because that's none of your business. Right? So don't ask any questions ever, even though the questions basically raise themselves, and all you have to do is acknowledge them. Now let's move on to the next one, and the next one is pretty lengthy, and this is trolls care about his money because he does shady shit behind the scenes all the time. And we have pretty much mountains of proof of that, of people admitting it. We have screenshots and other stuff of DSP discussing behind the scenes in emails with other people how they could buy him equipment, how they could send him money privately behind the scenes, how they could support him in different ways, and this and that.
I will now be seriously considering the possibility of upgrading my setup. We talked about this for a very long time. Last year I had serious offers from multiple viewers, either offering to buy me the individual components to build a new capture rig, or to just buy me a pre-built machine ready to go so I can just get it out of the box, turn it on, install the software, get my setup going within like a day or two.
We also have fans of DSP making sock accounts so they could become a member.
So this sort of goes with the tips thing. How many stock memberships did you make, and are they on auto renew for those YouTube?
And
So not many.
Is can you confirm any of your other sock accounts on YouTube that you've tipped with?
So I do have some screenshots that I took last night of me canceling the memberships. And it was only 2 for this past month. But I want to say it's anywhere from 10 to 15.
Sock accounts Are these whale
Yeah.
socks or are these like little socks?
No, they're just standard members.
And the last shady thing that I could think of is encouraging people to lie about their PayPal information, which is also another shady thing that he does to prevent transparency.
All right. When you tip someone with PayPal, the person who receives the tip will see some very basic data, including the following. Whatever username you have chosen to have as the revealed username on PayPal. Now, I've seen people have their real life name. I've seen people have a name that obviously is an online code word or name. Like, for example, I'm not even kidding. That tip I just got, it said nine-tailed strategist. Okay? So sometimes you'll see a name like that. Sometimes you'll see a name that's associated with the PayPal account, all right, from behind the scenes, but you guys won't see that name publicly on the stream. It depends on how the user sets up their PayPal account. It has nothing to do with me. It's how the user sets up the PayPal account, okay? There are many ways that you can actually make it so that you don't see personal information on there. Yes, it's very true that if you just rush through making a PayPal account, okay, and you put in your basic info, yeah, very likely your real name may be in there.
So what you're saying is that if you set up your information for your PayPal, your real information is going to be shown there. That's probably 99% of all users that set up a PayPal. They don't set up a PayPal and put fake information, especially if they want to be verified by sending in their information for their bank account, because it requires their actual information associated with their account and their billing address. If it wasn't real or if it wasn't accurate, they wouldn't be verified. That's like making the argument, well, you can lie to them because it doesn't matter. You can just create the PayPal account and put whatever you want on there. And if you didn't, well, that's your fault. DSP, the information that you're likely receiving from people via email for every single transaction you receive is going to contain a name and an email, minimum. And that is all it takes to dox somebody.
Okay, but you can change it. Once you create the PayPal account, you have the ability to change that information. It's under the control of the user of that PayPal account what a person can and cannot see.
What would happen if I used a fake name/address on PayPal? At the very least, you'd be in violation of the KTC, Know Your Customer/AML, anti-money laundering laws. As PayPal is a US-based company, and as those laws are based on the Patriot Act, which dictates how the US treats terrorists/potential terrorists, perhaps it's best if you did not commit this particular felony. If you're not in the US, you may be thinking that you could potentially avoid those penalties. Well, that still leaves your funds unopened for seizure by PayPal and or the US government, and you could potentially be facing international terrorism laws which could inhibit future travel across borders and or the issuance of a warrant that could result in your arrest when the appropriate authorities run across you. All in all, I wouldn't recommend it. US banking institutions, like PayPal, tend to seize first, ask questions later.
Now, the next reason is you can't really watch a DSP stream and not have the thought about money come through your head, because those streams are just so focused on him getting money. It's the focal point of the stream is just the DSP gets money stream. So really, you can't really ignore it. You can't really ignore it when he reminds you how long has it been since the last tip, how much money in Super Chat he's made, what's the progress with the membership goal, and he just dwells on it for so long until it kind of just takes over the stream. And that's what people in his chat start talking about, is how much money he's made and not the game that he's playing. It just kind of takes a higher priority over the game that he's playing.
Kyle, yes, I've already explained this a million times. I don't know why you fucking people are talking about money constantly. You see I'm playing a fucking game? You notice that? Anyone notice I'm playing a game tonight? Anyone? I'm barely even mentioning anything about tips. I'm just trying to play the game and have fun. Every once in a while I throw it in. Literally these idiots in the chat. Money, money, money. Money, money, money. Tips go money. Money, money, money. Shut the fuck up. The money is for me to talk about. It's my stream. Alright? If I want to worry about, oh, are we hitting the tips goal or not tonight, I'll talk about it. When you talk about it constantly, you're derailing the whole fucking stream. No one can even talk about the fucking game in the stream because money, 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 money. Shut the fuck up.
And I guess the last one, or at least one of the last two ones, is DSP manipulates people. And I usually like to say he's pretty bad at manipulations because his manipulations only work on well-intentioned but very much gullible or susceptible to manipulation people. So therefore he can't be really like he can't get to the point where he's a big streamer and manipulate masses of people into giving him money. That's why he's surrounded himself with 5 to 10, maybe 15, as we call them, dent heads that keep giving him money, or people that think that they're helping him, but they're just enabling him so he can put himself in a deeper hole that he's currently in. And the last one ties into the one with asking questions, because when you start asking questions, things start to become very clear, very fast. When you go and look at older clips of him talking about alcoholism, older clips of him confessing all about how he spent money on gacha games, and the way that he did it, and how much money he spent, the different games that he played, when you look back on all of his clips and discussions about impulsive spending, it kind of becomes clear where that money goes. And we had the bank leaks last year in September that basically proved that everything the trolls have been asking has been true. And all those assumptions that they've been making about DSP spending thousands of dollars of mobile games, and that's the reason why he can't get by, and spending too much money in bullshit and alcohol and stuff like that. It all just kind of makes sense. So in his ideal world, he could go out of his way to admit these serious flaws and the ways that they're damaging him. So he could go out and say he was at a restaurant and they ate this amazing sushi that it was an expensive restaurant and everything. And then in the same breath, he can beg you for tips because he can't pay his bills. And in his ideal universe, you're supposed to say yes and not think about any of this whatsoever. So these were my few reasons why I think that trolls care about DSP's money, why we talk about it so much, why we track it so much, and why it's such a big deal. So you think something else? Let me know below and smash that whatever. I'm gonna see you next time. Bye.
Insanely flavorful chicken. It's not dry. It's freaking robust. Give me this dipping sauce, garlic infused dipping sauce. I will tell you guys is thus. Robust.